Hi, this is an interview for Edularity. Today we are with Jeff Robin. How do you integrate art, especially for those who think they are not creative enough or they are not artistic enough?
Well, that's the thing. In the last place I had taught, everybody had to take art. And so a lot of the kids were saying, oh my God, I can't do any art. So I would deconstruct it and come up with a framework or come up with a process that everybody could be successful. We used computers, we used tracing, we used pre-existing images, and I made up these things that everybody could be successful if they worked hard and came back and did it. And I had some kids that did some great work, and I had some kids that tried super hard and made okay work, and I had kids that just, they're like, well, it's too hard for me, I don't want to do it. Everybody's where they're at. I think what's interesting is having kids do great art and we're doing a physics project, or great art and we're doing a biology project, and to explain the physics and to explain the biology, they have to make something, and they make this thing that explains it, and it's beautiful. We did this one project, Staircase to Nowhere, and the reason it's Staircase to Nowhere was I figured if the staircases went someplace, then it would be craft and it wouldn't be art anymore. So the kids built 1 to 10 scale models, and they learned to chop wood, and they learned to play and design. They did 1 to 5 scale models where they had to design it first. So they learned how to use CAD and SketchUp and to work with a partner. And then they made 1-to-1 staircases around the school where they had to design and work with 10 other students to build these things. And they're all over the school. They're beautiful. They're standalone. If you saw these staircases in an art museum somewhere, you would say, oh, that's an installation or that's a cool sculpture. But they're staircases, and the kids sit on them and hang out on them. The art in that was beautiful, and they didn't even know they were doing it. And they're like, oh, I see the art. I'm like, yeah, the balance. You could apply formalistic art qualities that you would learn in an art classroom to anything. A lot of times art teachers especially are like, well, what about art for art's sake? And I think art for art's sake is great, but it doesn't always have to be there. Remember, people came up with art because they were trying to show people things. I've been in caves in Asturias, Spain that are 14,000 years old, and there are pictures of bison and different animals painted on the walls. When you see it in art history class, you think it's this giant cave, but it's only this big. It's kind of underwhelming. But the point is, there are 14,000-year-old cave paintings, and they were depicting the animals and where to kill the animals or what they were all about. Art has always been in service of people and their lives. The Greek sculptures were talking about perfection, talking about gods. Or in Roman times, their ancestors. Art has always been about society. Art has always been about politics. Art has always been about us as humans living together and how are we going to live together. So to say art for art's sake, well, frankly, it's never been for art's sake. Oh, maybe in 1917 to 1922, Dadaism, I think art was for art's sake then. But since then, no.
Are you listening? Damn.